Hello everyone, welcome back to All Outdoor. I'm your host Kevin, and in this episode we're going to be talking about building a fire starter kit with waterproof matches. We've got a couple of different types of matches out here, some strike on box and strike anywhere matches. One of the common questions is, what's the difference between the two? So strike anywhere matches has a little tip of phosphorus right there. It's still a little white tip, where the strike on box matches does not. So where's the phosphorus at on the strike on box? Is that it is inside the striking pad. Is that it's like impregnated or permeated into the striking pad, so that whenever you strike it, it provides ignition point. Where on strike anywhere matches, the phosphorus here, striking on a rough surface, provides ignition point. However, as these matches age, sometimes the white phosphorus tip will start breaking off rather than lighting the match. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a candle. One of the first things we want to do is we want to make sure that we have some wax for the waterproofing, and we also have some some fingernail polish. We also have a jar that we're going to be making whenever we light the matches. We're going to be putting them out inside the water. Make sure that everything's safe. Whenever back in 1984, 1985, 1983, before I'd go on a hiking trip or camping trip, one of my favorite activities was to sit around and make waterproof matches. And y'all may be wondering, well, Kevin, what's the board over here for? I'm glad you asked, guys. I'm glad you asked. And what the board is for is we're going to take the polish. We're going to go ahead and do the fingernail polish because that's going to be the easiest. And we're going to take the matches. We're going to do some strike on box matches. We're just going to take them. We're going to dip them down inside there like so. And it works better if you use waterproof fingernail polish. Because once this is exposed to water, it turns like a jelly or something, gel. Now notice what we're doing is we're just using the board. You can use a pair of pliers. You can even use a pin, something like that. Where you're just going to dip the match into the fingernail polish. And then like on a pin or something, you just set it up there. Whoops. You don't want the head touching anything. Just want to let it dry. But instead of using a pin, we're going to be using the board. Alright, we're going to do these first four with strike on box matches, because we're also going to be talking about the difference between how they strike with the waterproof coating on them. Then we're going to do some of these strike on box matches. Let's let that drain down that stem a little bit. If you get a lot on there, just let it kind of drain down on that stem. Alright guys, and there we go. We're going to let that dry for a few minutes, and then as the wax builds up inside the candle, we're going to start dipping them in the wax. Alright guys, now that we've got the fingernail polish dipped and they're drying, let's get the wax. Now this is a little tricky, or it can be a little tricky. What we want to do is we just want to dip the candles in there without igniting them. One fingernail polish on strike on box, strike anywhere, strike on box, strike anywhere, strike on box. So let's let that dry for a little while. We'll come back to it and do some experimentation. Alright guys and gals, this has been dry for about 30 to 45 minutes. Let's see how it does. We're going to be using the strike on box matches, because remember, the striker pad has phosphorus in it. It helps because the strike on box matches do not have a phosphorus tip. I've also got a jar of water here. And as we strike the matches, we're just going to throw them in the jar, put them out. Now remember, the heavier the coating you put on here, the more you're going to have to strike it to get through that coating. That's why I've never had very much luck with the wax, because the wax is so heavy that it makes it difficult for the wax to be tore off with the striker pad and then to finally ignite. Alright Kevin, well how do you know these are waterproof matches? Let's go ahead and dunk it guys. We're going to put it right down there inside the water. Just flick the heavy water off. And there we go. Waterproof matches. Alright, now those were the strike on box matches. Let's try the strike anywhere matches. Remember, these have got the little phosphorus tip. That phosphorus tip gets wore off. That's what I was saying earlier. The older these matches seem to get, the less likely they seem to strike. And I've just kind of lost faith. Let's just do the strike anywhere pad. And I've just lost faith in over the years. I've slowly lost faith in using the strike anywhere matches. Now let's do the wax coated ones. Now which ones are which? See the heavy tip? How heavy that wax is on that tip? That has to be removed. We're going to use the strike on box matches because remember the strike on box is permeated to help the match strike. So well, that worked out well. That worked out very well. Now for our fire starter kit, which is a pill bottle with some matches in it, coated and uncoated, what are we going to use to help start the fire? Is that dryer lint makes an excellent fire starting material. But some synthetics such as nylons do not burn very well. They more or less melt rather than burn. So whenever you're drying some towels, go in there, get those cotton fibers out of the dryer lint. And we've got, let's try this strike on box match right here. We'll just strike it right here on the box. There we go. Ooh, that is hot. That gets hot quick, guys. It's hot real quick. We're out here in the yard. There's nothing flammable around us. Just a tablecloth. If this catches on fire, no big deal. We just want to make sure that there's nothing out here that will burn. Alright, so the only thing we have left is the strike anywhere matches. There we go, finally lit. Mix you in some polyesters or some nylons or something, and you've got yourself that will kind of burn a little bit longer instead of just straight cotton. Give you that little bit of extra stuff to get the fire going. Go to a hobby store. Go to a hobby store. Go to anywhere where they sell beads for like making bracelets, necklaces, stuff like that. Look for where they keep the little beads at. They should sell some little plastic baggies, clear plastic baggies about 2 inches square, or maybe 1.5 inches wide, 2 inches long, something like that. And they're designed to keep beads in, organize them for people who make these bead necklaces, bead bracelets, stuff like that. Take that dryer lint, do up a couple of little balls of it. Now remember, you want to, if you do the dryer lint, throw in some nylons, some type of man-made synthetic material, and it will help that cotton burn just a little bit longer. The cotton will get it going, then that synthetic will help it keep going a little bit longer. Take that dryer lint, put it into the little plastic baggie, seal it, roll it up, stick it in there with your striker pad, and then you have yourself a waterproof fire starter kit in a pill bottle. Alright guys and gals, I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and I will talk to y'all later.